Welcome back to NTAC Live. We're here in Grand Rapids, Michigan at NTAC. That's the NTAC Annual Conference 2012. I'm Chris Walsh from the NTAC Network, and I am joined by Christian Quintero, the new principal, but one of the founding teachers of LA School of Global Studies in, of course, LA, California. Welcome.
Thank you for
So, big news, of course, is that the school won kind of a major award, as they say, here at the conference yesterday, the Chad P. Wick Award for Social Justice. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. It was a very exciting experience yesterday.
Now, a lot of people may think, well, what the heck is that award outside of NTAC? But that's an award that we give to schools that are really leading the way in terms of our overall mission to reach in a meaningful way all kids. And I think the population of students that are in LA in general, but in particular LA SGS, are students that we want to make sure everybody knows are part of the NTAC family and that we're making great strides with, and you guys are doing some great work. So tell us a little bit about your school and the community and some of the things that you and the students have accomplished.
All right, so the school is 360 students large. We have about 96% Latino. We're a Title I school. 100% of our students are receiving free or reduced lunch, and so we're in a high poverty area. And I highlight that because the project-based learning and the NTAC model really fits with the demographic that we're teaching. From trying to solve problems to the need-to-knows to looking at how there are different solutions to solve problems. There's a really great way to engage them into the class, and that's actually one of the most important things that we tell all of our teachers is, are the students engaged? Are they interested? Do they want to learn? And that's how we measure our success to a bit. Some of the cool projects that we've done this year, we actually had a concerted effort with our staff. We did grade level projects. So every grade level, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, each had a grade level project. And so I want to talk a little bit about the grade level project in 11th grade and a little bit about the 9th grade project. So the 11th grade project, we thought, how can we connect chemistry, algebra 2, American history, and U.S. literature into one topic? And so we thought,
how do you do that?
Well, not easily.
Not just magic.
But we thought disaster preparedness. LA is earthquake country, and we haven't had an earthquake in over 300 years, and apparently the statistic is every 150 years. Well, there's a big one.
We've
coming.
Had earthquakes, just not the big one,
right? And so for the literature part, we used Zaytoon, a book by Dave Eggers, and he talks about Hurricane Katrina. So we used the experience of Hurricane Katrina. In math, they used logs and exponential kind of functions to look at earthquakes and how they're measured. The history part, again, looking at Katrina, looking at FEMA, looking how
the social side, how people deal with those sorts of situations.
How it was dealt with. And then the chemistry side, they did water purification as well as creating a homemade disaster preparedness kit. But one of the beautiful things about that, and one of the things that is powerful about being a new technology school, a new tech school, is looking for those outside evaluators and those external ways to connect to the real world. And so our students weren't just talking about disaster preparedness to the students in the school. They were going out and finding out information. So the first thing they did was they went home and developed a survey to find out how many of the families from our school are prepared, and they found out
how many are prepared.
Very little, about 15 to 20%. 15 to 20% who had either a emergency kit or a emergency plan. That meant that 80% of our families weren't ready.
I don't think my family's ready. So whatever your kids developed, send it to me.
We're designing the project that I still hadn't been prepared. It's like, oh my goodness. But the beauty is they took that information and created an infographic. They brought that infographic to our neighborhood council and said, we need help. We just found out that most of our families aren't prepared. and we want to collaborate with you and find a way to do that. And so the neighborhood council president was really excited about the initiative, said yes, we need to be doing that. And then we said we're going to be doing a little more research and come back with some ideas. And so that was the project. And so they concentrate on different things. So for the social the social studies part, you know, they looked at how people of color were treated in Katrina, how the different class structures were treated in Katrina, and we looked at our own demographic and said, how would we be viewed in a disaster scenario?
There's a lot of things about that I love. One of the things is just clearly that it was an iterative process. Oftentimes people think of projects as there's a final product and that's it, but you actually went back and said, we're not done. We're going to come back and we're going to get some feedback and keep going with it. So that design thinking process, I'm a huge fan of. As well, though, I think the community aspect to this, I mean, you didn't just pretend to be doing something for the community. You went and got involved with the community, and that real world experience is critical to learning and motivating kids, don't you think?
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why we did it. And I think we got a lot of student engagement because of that, because they knew it was real, it was authentic. They weren't just going to be affecting themselves, they're going to be infecting the community around them. So it was really great. And you know, one of the things they looked at several factors, and one of the factors they looked at is how would they be viewed? Are they going to be viewed as looters or as survivors? And then how do we change that view? And so they were thinking about, how do we talk to the police department? How do we talk to Homeland Security to know that there are areas that they need for emergency preparedness that they're going to be going to? And how do we create that partnership with businesses that, you know, hey, we're not looting, we're actually trying to survive. Is there a way to recompensate those businesses? So
that's deep.
There's a lot, there's a lot of really great things.
Built into identity and ethnicity and
class,
relation and communication of all of that. That's great.
So let me talk a little bit about the ninth grade project, because that was really exciting as well. When they were part of in the designing phase, the teachers were getting together and like, what are we going to do? And then, you know, some teachers said, we should go camping. Well, what does camping have to do with algebra, ICS, PE, and English and Spanish? What does that have to do with it? And as the project developed, they realized, well, a lot. So LAUSD has a territory that they own called Clearwater, and that's where we were trying to get to. And so in the math, they were figuring out fundraising. How are we going to get enough funds to be able to send our students there? In the PE class, they're finding out, well, what are the trails are we going to take? How do we prepare for the trails? You know, what kind of exercise should we do before we go there? And then something beautiful happened. LAUSD was looking to cut different programs, and
beautiful.
Well, the beauty is the authenticity that came out of it. One of the programs that we're going to cut was the Clearwater territory that the students were going to use, and all of LAUSD students use for camping. And so what the project evolved to is creating documentaries to advocate for why this territory is important, why urban youth need to be going to camping sites and seeing nature and being part of that experience. And so again, you know, it wasn't planned, but as the project was going along, you know, those things happened, and it just created that authentic moment for the students, so that they knew my video could be presented to the Board of Education, and that could influence whether we keep Clear Creek or not.
I love that the real world intervened in what you thought was already a real world experience and made it deeper. That's fantastic, and I think kudos to the staff at the school to allowing that to happen. There's a lot of places where that would have become a side thing, or maybe something you do, you know, later on, on the side for the kids. But you took the time to understand the power of that and integrate it deeply into the project.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So there's clearly a lot of great things happening at the school. As a new principal to the school, I mean, you've been there for 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
And so this is one of our more mature schools in the network, and so that's why it's fantastic to see you continue to thrive and succeed, and to be able to share that and recognize that, because the conference has been special. But as a new principal kind of going in, I'm wondering what sort of your thoughts are on the next couple of years of development for the school. Where are things headed, and what are some of the challenges you need to overcome?
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that we worked on for these last 2 years is linked learning certification. And linked learning with ConnectEd is trying to create pathways of career pathways for our students to see that, you know, the what they learn in class can really influence what jobs and careers they'll have after they graduate. And usually in the LA schools, it's a cohort of students that go through the pathway. Right. But we thought, well, why would a cohort of our students go through that? We want all of our students to go through that. So one of the things now is this coming year, we have a clear pathway. So we have a kind of fundamentals of digital media intro class for our 9th graders. In 10th grade, they're going to have like graphic design. 11th grade, it's going to be graphic design, advertising, and 12th grade is like web design. But that pathway, all of our students will be experiencing. Having said that, the challenge that we face is that going into our 7th year, our technology is 7 years old, and there haven't been clear-cut plans to upgrade that technology. And so one of my jobs in this conference, as well as throughout the next year, is to find ways to upgrade our technology. You know, how do we teach 21st century skills when we're using technology that is already outdated? And you know, technology is outdated so quickly right now. So that's one of the big projects that I'll be working on this year.
So if there's anybody out there who wants to have a Los Angeles inner city school, right, to sponsor and support and mentor and help through on the technology side,
for sure,
this is the guy to contact, right?
For sure.
And we're, of course, we'll help with that however we can as well. But I think that's a challenge that a lot of schools have.
Yeah.
You, once you commit to this path,
right,
you can't just stay still. You have to continue to refresh and innovate along the way. So I'm also wondering about kind of where the school's at in terms of its evolution. So you're 6 years in, going into 7th year. There's always changes here and there with staff. Kids are constantly coming and going, right, each year, in and out of the school. What do you do to maintain a strong culture and continue to have that culture thrive at the school, since it's so central to your success moving forward?
Well, one of the beautiful things about our school is that we have a strong staff commitment. And so, although we've experienced quite a bit of turnover in our first few years, we have a solid core now that keep the candle lit for new tech and for our school culture. And so the integration, I think, will be very easy for a new staff. We're hiring 2 or 3 new staff members this year, and the integration will be easy. And so having that strong staff commitment is really important. And you know, it's a beautiful thing that, you know, when I was given this position of principal, the first thing that a lot of the staff members asked or said to me was, how can I help? And it wasn't, this is what you have to do, you know, you got to get this done. It's, how can I help? And that's kind of the culture that we've established there. It's really collaborative and really unique. So I'm very happy to be part of that. And you know, it was actually interesting. While I was going through the process of for this position, one of the questions that was asked was, you know, do you want to be principal of global studies or principal anywhere? And I said, are you kidding me? I've been with the school for 6 years. There's still a lot of growth. There's still a lot of challenges that we need to overcome. I wouldn't move anywhere. And you know, what really draws me is how collaborative our staff is and how much we share in the success of our students. And so it's really important.
That's fantastic. Well, I think it's very clear the passion you have for your students, the passion you have for the staff, the passion you have for the success of the school moving forward. And so we couldn't wish you more luck moving forward, and we're so happy to be able to highlight your success here at NTAC. For anybody else out there who wants to learn more about the school, where can they go to learn more? I mean, clearly they can contact you, but a website, maybe some projects or something you want to highlight that they can go and see? Well,
they can definitely go to our website, and I should have that in the top of my head right now.
Google Los Angeles School of Global Studies, right?
Thank you. Definitely check out our website. I would say come to visit our school. You know, for as much as I can describe our school, you can't really notice the impact it has on the students until you walk in. We have an open door policy, so anyone can come into our school, check out our classrooms.
Just a couple months ago. It's great. I mean, it was a great experience.
And so I think the power is once our visitors come and ask the students, what are you working on? how does this impact your life? What about this is engaging to you? And getting real answers from our students. And our students aren't shy about telling, the good and the bad. So I would say come visit our school, and that's the most important thing. Walk onto our campus and feel the culture of our school.
Well, there you go. An open invitation to visit Los Angeles School of Global Studies. Our award winner for the Chad P. Wick Social Justice Award this year at NTAC. Thanks again for joining me, and
Thank
congratulations
you so much
on everything, and have a great school year.
Thanks.
All right, for everyone here at New Tech Network, I'm Chris Walsh. We'll see you soon.